Say it with me, everybody. It's a great day to be a Seahawks fan. Oh, not that there's ever really a bad day to be a Seahawks fan, but today we got more good news. Very rarely have I had any bad news for you, so I guess knock on the wood. Don't try to jinx it at all, but you get what I'm saying. Welcome back to another episode of Seahawks Digest. I'm Christian Pedersen, the host of the show that brings you daily content that ranges from rumors and reactions to reports, all of the stuff that you get from a dude just mucking about on the internet. If you want to like, subscribe, comment, share, follow, all those other buttons, I'm always told to tell you to press them. I don't care if you do or don't, because either way, I am going to be here just blabbing on all season long about all things Seahawks, including Mr. Nick Emmanwori passing his physical and taking a crucial step back towards being on the field with the Seahawks. Now, him passing his physical is not corresponding with a move to reactivate him off the PUP or do anything direct, but him passing his physical is, to me, it's as good as any of those. Given that, not that I want to say that like superstar players can have a little bit of wiggle room on training camp anyway, but superstar players can have a little bit of wiggle room on training camp. And so if Nick Emmanwori needs up until August 29th to be activated off of PUP just to make sure he's really healthy and actually good to go, great. Cool. I have no objections to that. He needs to be on the roster by August 30th in order to be active for the first 4 weeks of the season is the only thing here for me. And I see this happening, to me, 100% likelihood. Maybe I'm completely off on that, but I think that my interpretation of all of this is if he is back if he's on the sideline walking around and has a cleared physical, that we are significantly closer rather than further to having him back. Next story I've got for you on the board today, some more injury updates. These on Jake Bobo and Julian Neal. The sort of there in parentheses is just to say that the injury updates is that they were back, just not in 11 on 11, but Jake Bobo, I think, is a candidate for a sleeper status this year. Everyone's a superstar. We just won the Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. But if you're looking up and down the list of people who could benefit from the multiple tight end, different formats that are going to be potentially heavily used by Brian Fleury's offense, Jake Bobo is one of those guys that's going to hugely benefit from that. And to have him back, even if it's not in full on like, oh, he was out there cracking skulls and catching tutties, this is a huge step in the right direction for the Seahawks to be any step closer to having full strength rather than further away. And if it's not out there yet, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying. Same as Nick Emmanwori. Any steps we can take in the right direction are big steps in the right direction. The next story I got for you is we just kind of shotgun through. Not that it was a slow news day. There's just not maybe groundbreaking stuff, but we getting to know our new ownership group a little bit more, and there has definitely been a lot of discussion about turf versus real grass and what's healthiest for players and whatnot. And the statement here that our new ownership group, or the head of our ownership group, or however you want to correctly address him, had to say was, I defer to the people who know better than me, the team that got us to the Super Bowl. So, okay, sure. I think that always with owners, managers, groups, etc., there is a tendency to be like, oh yeah, that's kind of a nothing burger of a statement. He didn't really say anything, just was being very general and apolitical. But at the same time, to praise the compliment of saying, hey, yes, this is now my team, in the capital royalty, like he owns the team. But to say that this was the team that got us there is, to me, fantastically exciting to see that the formatting is for a guy to talk about how like he wants to just kind of keep things intact and not mess with the status quo. And again, with all things, I'm sure that this could be me as a YouTubey dude just way overreacting and reading too much into it. But when when a new sheriff's in town, I think there's a lot of teams that have gone into, hey, we're in a good spot, but the new guy comes in and wants to fire these people and make his impact on those people. So to have our new ownership group out here saying, hey, look, we just want to let's listen to the people that are in the building already. I love it. It's a small thing, but it's, to me, a big vote of confidence. Finally, saw this on the Twitter sphere, and I told you every episode, we're going to talk about the running backs. Jeremy Fowler had, this was a good summary of all of Jeremy Fowler's Seahawks discussion points, if you will. Talking about Jadarian Price being like a prime Dalvin Cook in terms of his explosiveness, confirming that the running backs are going to be a rotation, not talking about which of those rotate, like who is what in that 2 to 3 man, but I'm assuming it's Wilson, Price, Holani, that JSN's heavy workload should continue. I don't see why you wouldn't continue to give him a heavy workload, even with all of the pieces around him, including Sheed and Cupp. So, yeah, maybe there's going to be a little bit of, even with a heavy workload, different productivity. And then finally, that 2 tight end sets. That's what I was talking about, Jake Bobo. I think there's a lot of people that will benefit from the 2 tight end sets, ranging from our running backs to our quarterbacks and then subsequently our defense, because we'll be scoring more. But you get what I'm saying. Just interesting and cool to see all of these things go from off-season like talking points that we were all thinking aloud to ourselves to actually being real, actionable, discussionable things that are being implemented and then being reported upon. So seems like another day, more good news. Injuries are being recovered from. Things are going forward. Things are going well. Ownership group is smiling down upon all of us. So that's what I've got for you on this episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that is starting to finally come around to the belief that this team this year has a huge potential to be better than last year's squad. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, share, all those other things. Like I said, we got daily content coming for you all off season. Well, now it's all season. We got daily content every single day, long form, short form, everything in between. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon.